A very warm welcome back to the channel. A new Embraer aircraft. Is it really something on the cards? Well, one airline is interested and Air Canada updates. Why not begin with the Embraer plane, with Cebu Pacific keen on the development of a prospective new narrow-body aircraft from Brazilian plane maker Embraer. Speaking with Aviation Week, the airline's CEO stated that the more aircraft produced in the narrow-body sector, the better, as aircraft availability currently remains a problem. It's certainly a challenge for airlines attempting to renew and grow their fleet. Airbus and Boeing largely lead the single-aisle sector with their A320neo and 737 MAX family, even down to the A220. These aircraft are all popular in their own right, however they have substantial backlogs that these plane makers have struggled to work through in recent years, cascading down onto airlines who then have operational and also financial ramifications. Therefore, airlines have been somewhat willing to look at alternatives on the market. That is very limited, that is the only problem. Embraer, however, has certainly been responsible for filling the need for single-aisle, more regional type aircraft. However, recent reporting, you may recall, has suggested that a new narrow-body could come despite Embraer shutting down talk in mid-2024, only for it to re-emerge towards the latter stages. Cebu Pacific notes that its current geographical positioning makes purchasing aircraft actually very difficult. This is considering their size, and a regional jet that is currently in operation from Embraer would not work, but something else may do. What is Embraer's new plane? Well, Embraer specializes in regional connectivity for commercial aircraft. It obviously has other avenues, but if I'm focusing strictly on its commercial division, it is certainly the regional flying. While the plane maker has many other endeavors, none come quite as close to this, at least for my focus. At the end of the 2024 calendar year, there was more reporting that emerged that a new commercial airliner from Embraer, likely to be a scaled up E2 series, could be possible. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, something I'll definitely reiterate there. Cebu Pacific says that if this plane, which would hypothetically launch in the 2030s, were to actually launch, it would be an opportunity to pounce on. Moreover, it likely wouldn't just be Cebu Pacific that would express interest in this new type, touted as a possible disruptor in the 2030s, as airlines look to alleviate pressures on established plane makers Airbus and Boeing, who by then will likely have their delivery slots completely snapped up. And if we continue to see production increase woes, while getting through that backlog and actually digging your teeth into it is going to be challenging. Embraer told CNBC in late 2024 it was studying the prospect of new technologies that, if proven that the key part here would allow it to launch an all-new commercial airliner. The Brazilian plane maker felt that if it progressed with these technologies, it would finally be able to compete on a larger scale with Airbus and Boeing, having already enjoyed a lot of success in the regional sector. From supply chains to reliability constraints, Embraer has always been a presence in our industry across recent times, but arguably its importance increases and customer reception has grown. There is strong appetite for developing a new commercial airliner to finally really dislodge Airbus and Boeing at the top. However, no formal decision has been made, and the CEO has told public analysts and others to really temper their expectations as work continues. But in a bit of deja vu, we now have airlines coming out and expressing their interest, believing that such a plane could be very interesting. Look no further than what took place with the Boeing NMA, with leasing giants and companies such as Delta expressing their own interest in this potential plane. The plane never eventuated, and the airlines did have to look elsewhere. On to the final story. Air Canada is expanding its service to Dublin, Ireland, a bid to really increase flying across the Atlantic. Canadian flag carrier's announcement came at the end of the last week and was possible thanks to the removal of a passenger cap. Dublin Airport confirmed that this summer's cap on passengers has been paused, and as a result, airlines from around the world now have the opportunity to increase their service if they believe it is necessary. All the associated changes that will take place highlight increase in growth 17% annually, which shows that demand levels, according to the airline's sales manager for Ireland, is certainly there. Irish customers will now have greater connectivity on partner or Air Canada flights, not just to a host of Canadian cities, but for trans-border services and beyond. Already, service has increased in several cities across Canada. However, now the company is eyeing Dublin to Vancouver, flying up from 3 times a week to 5 during the peak season. They've also confirmed that the operating season in which this plane flies will change to reflect the high levels of demand, departing on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. They'll utilize their 787 Dreamliner for this service from the 2nd of May. The Dreamliner is an integral part, we know, of that network, and away from Vancouver, they're also offering Dublin from Toronto, a popular Canadian city, flights departing daily. This increases from the 4 previous flights per week during the colder winter schedule, the 787 also to fly. And lastly, we have Air Canada stating that Montreal to Dublin will also see a seasonal flight jet off 4 times every week from the 2nd of June this year. Let me know your thoughts on today's stories, whether that is the chase for Embraer's new plane or adjustments to Air Canada's international schedule. Thank you very much for your support here on the channel. Take care, do be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow for your next industry recap.
And we'll fly.